Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another empties video. Yes, it is time to take out the trash. So I'm going to show you guys all of the products that I emptied, some of which are not empty, it's just being decluttered, but all of the products that's going in the garbage, trash, waste, landfill, whatever. So these are all the products that I'm throwing away, whether they're empty or not. If this is your first time watching me, welcome. I am Jamila. I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup and skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. So for today's empties videos, I'm gonna go through like I typically do. I'll let you guys know how I feel about the products, if I plan on repurchasing them or not, and I always like to sprinkle in some how to get it cheap tips. So I will tell you guys where I purchased it, or if I can remember, and how to get it at the best price, because we don't pay full price for makeup or skincare over here. Just saying. All right, go ahead, buckle up, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by digging into the bag and pulling out things at random. So first up, the first thing that's on top of the bag is this CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion. Now, this is one that I have used for several years, and I think that this is the best drugstore moisturizer on the market. It's one that I think works perfect if you have oily skin or if you have dry skin. Now, it does say for normal to dry skin hair, and this is one that I typically only really use at night because it does give a little bit extra moisture, but it's one that I found worked really well during the daytime when it was winter. You know, wintertime your skin gets a little bit drier, especially if you live in the US or a temperate climate where it's that cold, dry, hot air coming out to the vents. This is what I found was really helpful for the day without being too heavy. I find that this sinks into the skin very well. Makeup applies well over it. It mixes with other products. Sometimes you'll find products that cause pilling. This doesn't do that. It just mixes with everything, applies well, no scent, no irritation. CeraVe is one of those brands from the drugstore that I absolutely love because it's excellent if you have sensitive skin, acne-prone skin, hate fragrance, all of that. It is like the simplest of formulas, like the bare minimum to do the job, which I appreciate. And it's pretty affordable. Now, would I repurchase this? Yes, absolutely. But I think I would get a smaller bottle because I don't use this very, very often. I will say that this took forever to empty, like several months. So I'd rather just get a smaller bottle to use this with. I do have a couple other moisturizers though, so this isn't one I'm going to run out to purchase. But if I run out of the other ones that I have, this would be probably the first one that I would go and get. Next up, I have this detoxifying foaming facial wash from Shea Moisture. I did not like this. It's supposed to be a charcoal wash. I felt that it was really drying and not very cleansing, if that makes sense. Like, it was doing the most, but nothing at all. I felt like my skin felt a little bit parched and also still very dirty. So this isn't one that I would repurchase. I actually don't think that I would recommend the Shea Moisture skincare line at all. Hair, sure. I think that they have some great hair products, even though I don't really use them anymore. But in terms of skincare, no. And I feel like these charcoal things are just gimmicks, if we're being honest. So I don't think that this did anything. Okay, a couple of filled products that I'm getting rid of are some eye primers. So I picked up this one from Shop Miss A, as well as this one from Makeup Revolution. Now you can probably tell why I'm getting rid of it. These are the types of primers that have that very sort of light base to it. I don't like to apply my primers with a much lighter base. I honestly like to start with a blank flat canvas. That is my skin tone. I am not the type that goes in with like a white base or a lighter base so that eyeshadow pops on me. I just want my skin to be even, and then I apply everything on top of it. So these sort of lighter eye primers weren't getting used in my collection, and because I'm moving soon, I just needed to pack what needed to pack, but throw away and declutter the things that are just not going into my new space with me. Now, this one isn't empty, even though it doesn't look like it. It really is. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Olive. This is actually a really nice one. I used to use this as an eye primer. It definitely is on the orange side, I will say that. It definitely leans a little bit more orange, but it's not terrible. I would be willing to repurchase this. I would also be willing to repurchase the original Camo Concealer. The hydrating one is really nice and not too hydrating. So if you have oily skin, trust me, you can still use it. But if you were concerned about it being too hydrating, the Camo Concealer one is nice as well, the original. That one I definitely would not recommend for people with dry skin tones or dry skin types, because it definitely is drying. So I kind of like the hydration one a little bit more, but in the summertime I could see myself gravitating towards the original. Would I repurchase this? I would be willing to, but I don't think I'm going to. I think that this retails for maybe $7-8. e.l.f.'s prices has raised, and at that price point I would rather pay just a little bit more to get the LYS concealer from Sephora, because that one is, I think, just lighter, better, and I feel like it applies to the skin in a more natural way. This one is definitely more heavy and more full coverage. The LYS one I feel is a little bit more medium coverage, just lighter, doesn't feel like it's very heavy on the skin. So I would be willing to pick this up, but I don't think I'm going to, because there are just concealers that I prefer and like over this one. Oh, this might be a shorter video than I thought. So next up is the Clinique Moisture Surge Hydrating Supercharged Concentrate. If you've been on my channel and you've watched any of these videos, you know that this is my holy grail. I go in with this every single morning without fail. I have been through countless amounts of this. I probably have six backups of this in my drawer, because this is like an everyday product for me and I am obsessed with it. So obviously I'm going to repurchase this. I try to pick this up at the cosmetics company store because it is on the pricey side, and I do have to run to the CCO today, and I believe they're doing 60% off of skincare, which is fabulous. So I might pick it up there, because typically skincare at the CCO is only 30% off. So a 60% off sale, that's not bad, y'all. Not bad at all. I'll have to double check to see how much of my backups I have left. Like I said, I just buy this in bulk because this is one that I am always using. It goes on every day. As soon as I'm done washing my face, the way it works is I wash my face, I go in with typically my niacinamide toner from Good Molecules, and then I go in with this. Even though I have oily skin, I have found that it is extremely important to prep your skin by hydrating it well. If your skin is hydrated, it would not overproduce oil. So this is a lightweight serum that sinks into the skin and creates a really nice base for everything else. It mixes well with all the other products that I put on, and it doesn't disturb my skin, doesn't disturb my makeup, and it applies flawlessly. It just sinks into the skin. So this is one that has been a holy grail in my routine, and I haven't found anything to replace this with. So absolutely. Okay, a couple of things that I'm also just kind of throwing away. I have this brow pencil from Pretty Vulgar. I picked this up at TJ Maxx, Lord alone knows when. It's that kind of this angled shape, which just doesn't work for me. I also think that it's super stiff and dried out, so it's like scraping the brows, so definitely not worth it. This came, I believe, in a BoxyCharm box. It is it's a Brow Lights Duo Highlighter. So this is supposed to be used to highlight the brow bone, but these are so stark that ain't nobody putting this on their brow bone. So definitely getting rid of that. It might make a good eyeliner. I don't know. I don't really care to find out, so I'm just tossing that. I also have this eyeshadow base from Alter Ego. This is, again, like one of those light, I think it applies clear, right? Oh no, well, yeah, definitely not going to use that, and I've had this for way too long, not using it, so that needs to go. I have a couple of minis that I've been trying to empty, because as I'm moving in the next week or so, I'm trying to use up some of the mini products that I have, because they just sit and collect. Even though I'm traveling pretty frequently, there's just still a pretty significant pile of travel and deluxe and sample sizes that I'm trying to go through so that I can really, really just sort of clear that out. So I have this Clinique Clarifying Toner. This is supposed to be the second step in your routine. It says that it's for dry combination skin. This, I think, is... Honestly, I don't like the Clinique toners. I feel like they're kind of harsh. If we're being very frank, I feel like even though the Clinique skincare is supposed to be extremely gentle, their toners are very harsh on my skin. My skin feels irritated when I use them. So I wouldn't repurchase this or any of their toners. And I've tried a couple of them. And you would think that because it's for dry combination skin, it would feel more like hydrating and juicy on the skin, but no, it's just uncomfortable. So that one gotta go. Also decluttering this broad spectrum, or basically throwing away this, it's just sunscreen from Clinique. I think this is one of those that has a really, really bad white cast. I feel like I got a bunch of sunscreen and a lot of them just gave like a really terrible white cast. Or not a lot of them, like, okay. So yeah, so this is the sunscreen. You see that? Nope. And it's greasy. Maybe we can, so it is rubbing in, but it does have a tint of that white cast there. And as you can see, very, very greasy. So it leaves that kind of grayish tone to it. So definitely decluttering that. And that was in one of those sort of sample size things. So I emptied this Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm. This is actually a really nice cleansing balm. I don't mind this at all. This is one that I would be willing to repurchase, but if you want a better, cheaper cleansing balm, the Clean It Zero from Vanilla & Co. offers more for less, and I think works better. So this is one that I have switched to ever since I've tried it. And I actually have a big version of the Clinique Take the Cleansing Day Off. So I finished both of these, and I don't think I'm going to repurchase it just because I like this one better. So not bad by any means. If you were able to find this on super sale, I would say go ahead and pick it up. On a regular, this retails for about $60, so it's very expensive. And that's why I say go with this one. You can find this at Ulta. I think this is like 20 something dollars. So pretty significant difference. And the size, again, you get more hair. But if you were able to find this, because I know this is available at TJ Maxx, if you find it at TJ Maxx and it does have a decent discount, I would say go ahead and pick it up because it does a really good job at taking the makeup off. The Vanilla & Co. I think does a better job at taking off like mascara and eye makeup than Clinique though. So there's that. So I'm going to be decluttering / getting rid of this Love Rush blush from MAC. This baby is so old, like beyond old. And that's like the entire reason. It's a really pretty color, but I have so much blushes. And I'm reaching for blush palettes more than single blushes. So that was just not getting any use at all whatsoever. So, and again, super, like, embarrassingly old. I finished up my Faded Topicals cream. This is one thing my dermatologist recommended to me to help with some of my hypopigmentation. One of the issues that I have is that my under eyes are much lighter than the rest of my face. So I use this to help sort of even out my skin tone. I feel like I'm seeing some results, but it's slow and it's minimal. And one side of my face has more hypopigmentation than the next. And that side is, I feel like, improving a lot better than the other one. So it's working, I guess. And now that I've actually gotten pretty significant tan from being home and outside, my skin looks just a little bit more even because I've just been outside. So yeah, I'm going to keep using it until, I don't know, probably forever. I'm just going to keep using it for now, at least. Okay, speaking of a product that I just mentioned, the Niacinamide Toner from Good Molecules. This is one that I've also raved about for very, very long time. Like the Clinique, it's a holy grail for me. It is one of the only products that I have found that just brightens and like makes my skin look more effervescent, which is probably the worst way to describe it, or very inaccurate. But I just feel like everything just looks lighter and happier, and it's like such a glow without being glowy. That's the thing. There's no shine to it, nothing. It just, my skin radiates when I use the Niacinamide Toner. So that's one that I try to keep in my routine pretty much always. I've been switching it in and out now because, again, I'm trying to use up some of these travel and deluxe size products that I have, which includes toners. And I'm just trying to get those out of the way so that I can go back to my true love, which is the Niacinamide Toner. If I could recommend one thing from Good Molecules, it's that toner, period. Okay, so I also finished up this, it was pretty much a deluxe size of this skin smoothing exfoliator from, what's this? Proactive. I have not used Proactive in years. I got this in one of those sets, like those kits. And it was fine. I actually liked the little exfoliating beads that it came with it. It had 2.5% benzoyl peroxide. I typically use 10% benzoyl peroxide. So this was a little bit lower for me, but I thought that it was nice. So if you're just getting started with benzoyl peroxide, obviously don't start at 10%. That's really high, really drying, and it can really, really irritate your skin. It took me some years to get here. So I think that if you're just getting into benzoyl peroxide, this is excellent for you. Now, I'm not sure about the exfoliating piece plus the benzoyl peroxide because benzoyl peroxide is extremely irritating to the skin. So you might want to use this every other day, maybe once a week to begin with, and then work your way up. Now, because my skin is very used to benzoyl peroxide, I use it pretty much every day. It's one that I felt like I was able to dive into this, use this every, I would say every 3 days, because again, I don't want to over exfoliate. And I thought that it worked well. I don't know if I would say it was a big skincare difference in terms of like acne or anything, because one, I typically use a higher benzoyl peroxide concentration, and two, there are also 2 other topicals that are in my routine that are prescription that honestly I think are doing all of the work. So definitely don't think that this did anything special for my skin, but I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. Ooh, this is a good one. The LYS Think Bright Glow and Hydrate Serum. This has vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. I thought that this was really nice. Now, when you do buy this, it does have these little fine glitters, sparkles in there. And I was like, ooh, is this gonna look really like shiny and glittery on my face? But no, once you applied it to the skin, sank right in. You weren't glowy, you weren't glittery. It was just nice. So I think that this is a nice hyaluronic acid serum. It's also one that I thought sank into the skin well enough that it could be worn under makeup or it could be worn at night. Kind of up to you. So I definitely used it more at night because I use my Clinique in the morning. But it was really nice, and I would be willing to repurchase this. And it's also like a really cute bottle with little glitters in there. So it's good to like just visually have as well. But I thought it was fine. And I appreciate the vitamin C in there as well. I think that adds a little bit extra oomph to the skincare. Next, I did end up finishing one of my ABH brow pencils. This is in the shade Ebony. This is just a classic brow pencil. It can do no wrong. I tend to pick these up during the Ulta 21 Day sale because they oftentimes will have this or the Benefit brow pencil at 50% off on one of their days. So that's when I use it to stock up. If you are looking for a dupe for this though, the Ulta brow pencil is very, very similar. You do get less product though. I do find that it finishes faster when the Ulta one compared to this one. But in terms of formula, I think that they're very close. The next thing that I have is this Super Shock cheek product from ColourPop, which I found while I was trying to pack my makeup. I thought I got rid of all of my ColourPop, but this was here lingering. As you can probably tell, a very old ColourPop label has already gone. I can't even tell you when I picked this up, but it is probably 7 years old at least. So, and at that point, dry because the Super Shock shadows and whatnot are just dry. Next, I have this House Labs eyeliner. This I'm not going to linger too far on because this was actually a part of the old House Labs. And when I tell you this was the best eyeliner I've ever used, this was the best eyeliner I've ever used. I learned how to do a wing using this liner. And I pray that this comes back with the new brand. Is it back? Let me know if this is already a thing. If it is, this is amazing. Like, the blackness, the sharpness, the precision, it's just really easy to use. So look, like this is the tip. It's just so easy to use. The perfect amount of flexibility and control. I was really sad when they rebranded because of this, and I bought like 4 of these, so I do have a couple left that I can use until they bring it back in the new brand, or hopefully. Another deluxe size sunscreen. This is from Sunday Riley. I feel like I remember this one definitely having a pretty bad white cast. Yeah, so this is SPF 30, light-hearted sunscreen. Okay, so it's kind of blending in there. but still a little bit of a white cast. Okay. Yeah, I remember this having a really, really bad white cast. And also, these sunscreens just get greasy so quick that I can't deal with that. Another empty is this deluxe size of the Elemis Cleansing Balm. I thought that this was okay. Again, really pricey, and one that I would not go for because I have the Vanilla & Co. In terms of cleansing balms, I feel like a lot of them are just overpriced and they do the same thing. Like, there's even a really nice cleansing balm from Shop Miss A that I would 100% recommend. I don't think that you need to spend $60+ on a cleansing balm. Truly, I really don't. Even like some micellar water will get the job done. So I'm glad I got it and I was able to test it out in that like kit that I got it with, but it's not one that I would repurchase. I would actually probably repurchase Clinique over that one. And even then, there's the Vanilla & Co. and Shop Miss A. So, real bottom of the totem pole there. I have this deluxe size of this eye cream from Clinique. It's the All About Eyes eye cream. It reduces circles and puffs. I really like this one. The thing about it, though, is I don't know if I fully believe in eye creams. And let me know how you guys feel about it, because I feel like I hear mixed reviews where it's like, you need an eye cream, or you don't need an eye cream. Eye creams are just like thick moisturizers. So I don't know how I feel about it just generally, but I like that one when I use it. I thought it was really nice. Then I have the Gerard Cosmetics Concealer and Eye Base. This is in the shade Cocoa. This I really like. I finished one of this before. And I would be willing to repurchase this because I think that this is a really good eye base. I've never used it as a concealer. I don't think I ever would use it as a concealer. But as an eye base, 10 out of 10. Couple more products. The Clinique Smart Night Moisturizer. This is an amazing nighttime moisturizer. It's very, very thick. And I feel like every time I use this, my skin kind of just felt a little bit more supple. But this is really expensive. I don't think that you need to spend the amount of money that this costs for a night cream. I would definitely say use the Refa night cream over this one. But if you are able to get this as a free gift or as a sample, I think you would really like this. I can't say anything bad about it other than I think that the price is a bit much. Then I also have this deluxe size of the Bobbi Brown eye base, which, y'all, this feels exactly like the face cream. So just use the face cream. I didn't notice any difference from this versus the face cream. I'm being very, very honest. I feel like they put the same product in a jar and then just said, eye cream, so that we could buy it. I can't prove it, but I'm sticking with that. Okay, another eye primer. This is from ABH. This is another like white base primer, which I just don't use. So this was a part of some kit that I got from ABH that I think I got a mini primer, a mini mascara, and some sort of palette. But not going to use that. It is what it is. So it doesn't make sense for me to hold on to it because I know I'm not going to use it. And then two concealers that I'm decluttering. The first one is this old Becca one that I found while I was packing my makeup. And yeah, Becca's been out of business for a minute now. So you already know. Hella old. And this one I wasn't planning to declutter, but the brush broke. This is the Pat McGrath concealer in the shade MD21, which I love, but the tip of the brush thing broke off. Like, just ghetto. Patricia, you can't be doing all this, man. Like, your brush, and I was applying it and it just like fell off, and I was like, okay. Now, could I have finagled a way to use up the rest of this? Yes. Do I have the time or the patience or the wherewithal to like want to do that? No. No. I shouldn't have to be scraping through the playing MacGyver to figure out how to use up the rest of this product. So I'm just putting it in the trash. I do have some other Pat McGrath concealers, so all is not lost, that I can use. But I was really disappointed that the brush kind of like fell off. Pat McGrath is a luxury brand. I expect quality. Just saying. Okay, so that's it. Those are all the products that I am emptying, including some of the products I'm just throwing away because they don't work for me. But that's all the products that's going in the garbage. Everything that I am getting rid of. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on the products that I'm getting rid of or emptying. Do you like them? Do you use them? Are you considering them? All that fun jazz. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe, join the fam, be a part of the community. It's a vibe over here. And as always, I appreciate you guys so much more than you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!